It has been my great pleasure to be here for 29 years. And you know what? There are people out there in the audience that I know visually, and I would have loved to have gotten to know you, but I know you through vicariously through some of my students here. So honestly, I love you all. Well, maybe not all. Some of you I find irritating. But you are a pleasure. Always happy. That's what's kept me here at the school with the students. Besides me teaching art, it was mentioned, and by the way, that video and the poster that you see with my picture on it, there are all surprises and things like that I didn't know anything about. I don't know if you know, but Miss Sakavar was one of my students here. And now they had a department. Unfortunately, she's come down with a mild case of leprosy this afternoon. And could not make it. Anyway, some of the stories I've sent them to not just students, my wonderful students, but to staff as well. And it's absolutely amazing the types of things that you can say to staff and students, and they will actually believe you. I remember one time, this was in the old school, a number of years ago, I made a series of signs that simply said, I know good to a, good to a free or bad home. I no longer want nor love my pet. I didn't say what my pet was. And so a week had passed, and I was coming out of the main office, and one of the guidance counselors was coming out. So I was going in, and he stopped me. He said, you know what, your pet anymore? I go, can't stand it. Anyway, he said, she's giving it away? Yes. And he said, well, what is your pet? I paused for a second, and I said, you said I have a pet tuna. Blue skin. And he said, where do you keep it? I said, I have it in a big vat in my living room. And it's very expensive because when I feed it this tuna food, I have to put tuna helper in it. It eats so much. So I said, do you want it? He said, no, that's okay. Anyway, so I left him. He didn't actually believe that I did that. Another time I got in trouble with City TV. Well, actually I got in trouble with them. It was a Friday, and it was a Valentine's Day, and I was walking on Yonge Street north toward Bloor. And there was City TV, and I was walking along, and it appeared to be a girlfriend. She was not. She was a very good friend of mine, but she appeared to be my Valentine. And so the chap from City TV ran over with the microphone, put it up to me like this, and he said, what do you like to do with your sweetheart on Valentine's Day? Meanwhile, the young lady by her side, she got off camera, she didn't want to be on camera. And I said, well, I like to cuddle up in front of a crackling fire, have some nice white wine and ice, soft music, and then eat a whole bag of walnuts. The microphone, walnuts, whole bag. Well, I didn't get home that evening, so I don't know if they put it on the news. Monday morning, I got to school, and I'm walking down the hall, and most people who know me started to laugh it off. And then I had one of my classes, and one of my students, the young lady was there, she said, Mr. Lowe, I was watching the news on Friday evening with my mother. And after this, you said, I have a bag of walnuts with my sweetheart. My mother said, what an idiot, who is he? And she said, that's my art teacher. Anyway, you know the guidance counselor that believed me about the tuna? I saw him that day, and he turned to me and said, what a romantic thing that was. These are people that guide you, folks. of these tattoo gave the honor. I was in another school for 5 weeks. It was a certain school that, in my senior class, I was the only male not festooned with tattoos. Okay? This isn't a tattoo story, this is a story about an otter. And it seems that some people are not well versed with flora and fauna. Some people don't know what an otter is. So I came in to my class, and I was very, very miserable. And I said, oh, I had a horrible start to my morning. And there was only one student there. He was finishing, actually, we were finishing class, and he was washing his hands. He said, well, Mr. Lowe, what happened? I said, well, I left my apartment, and when I came out the front door, I slipped on an otter. He said, otter? Yeah, an otter. He said, you must live downtown, sir. I said, yes, I do. I live downtown. I said, the area is festooned with otters. And so, he said, are those things venomous, sir? I said, darn right you are. Worse than a cobra. He did not know what an otter was. So I went upstairs, I got myself a 2x4. I went downstairs and whacked the otter, stuck the 2x4 in the ground, and draped the otter over it. And all the other otters would go around that. And you know what? That morning, I remember distinctly that I even sprayed myself with Otter Be Gone. And yet, I still slipped on an otter. To this day, this young gentleman believes this story. Now, apparently, we're going to have some sort of a hug. I see Mary holding some bushes over there. I am not sure if I have a planner to put them in, but I'm so kind something or buy something. It has been my great pleasure. I know we miss all of you that I do not know, and those that I do, I cherish my many memories here. Thank you.
On behalf of all of us individual art majors, and the secretary for being a teacher, our mentor, and our friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
To our Claude Watson graduates, thank you for your excellence in all that you do. And on behalf of the Claude Watson teachers and administration, we wish you only the best on your journey after Earl Hay. And before you go, Ron has some quick announcements for you.
So on behalf of Arts Council, we have some freezies outside for you guys to celebrate. However, before you go, we ask guys, they're being handed out at the end of this door and at the end of that door. Unfortunately, they're not as cold as we would like them to be, but they are still delicious, so please enjoy. Enjoy your package of lukewarm cigarettes.